Hey guys, welcome to Turn Hill. Welcome to the place where we empower the high vibers. I hope all is well. Luck here. All right, welcome to your energy of the week reading. Let's get into it. I come to you humbly, God, thanking you for your divine guidance, providing messages of divine light, divine love in accordance with your divine will. What is it that we need to know? What do we need to know for the week? Thank you so much. What do we need to know? Okay, what's up? Starting off with the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups in reverse. How we starting there? Hold up now. Hold up now. What's crossing this energy? The Ace of Swords. All right. So immediately what came to mind? With this Ace of Cups coming through, you see how it's like pouring out? You know, it's pouring out. The upright, it's pouring into you, right? So something about that's happening here where it's like we're pouring out our energy into the wrong things or the wrong people, the wrong relationships. We have to be a bit more strategic as to where we're allocating our energy, all right? I mean, things need to be put in tiers is what I'm getting. All right, there's a certain level of love that you'll give to an acquaintance. There's a certain level of love that you'll give to a romantic interest. There's a certain amount of love that you give to family, you know? Now, here's what I want to say here. Don't put them in a specific tier just because they have a label of romantic interest, family, friends. See who's actually pouring into you. It seems like we're given a certain level of investment into connections that are not worthy of our energy because of the loyalty and because of the title. So for example, if your family, if you have a dynamic with a relative and it's not equally yoked, you might be overgiving, overloving because of their family, but they don't deserve all that love that you're giving, right? And it's a need to actually pull back. It's a need to pull back and see the truth about that with the Ace of Swords. Like family or not, I can't be giving you all this love if you won't step on it, okay? Romantic interest or not, I can't give you all this love if you won't step on it, all right? Acquaintance, I don't even know you like that to be giving you all this love, right? So this is an energy for the overlovers, you know, the undercover overlovers out here in these streets. Gang, gang, what's up? That's what I'm getting here. All right, what's up? Because ultimately it leads you to feel depleted, and that's being highlighted. Some of you guys, when you realize this, it will lead to either distancing yourself or cutting them off completely or making demands to switch a dynamic. Like, hey, I'm bringing a feast to the table. You bringing McDonald's. What's up? Where's your feast? Either bring a feast to the table next time, or I'm going to bring McDonald's next. And we just going to be out here eating cheap food. This love is about to be cheap real quick, okay? It's that, or just taking your feast and never coming to the table again. You know, that's the energy there. There's a choice that needs to be made about these connections that we have right now. All right. Okay, so yeah, setting boundaries. Assessing who deserves your love, who doesn't. Assessing who's worth your time and energy and who's not. Assessing who is worthy of your investment. Queen of Wands energy. I'm getting this energy of knowing your worth and knowing your value. Knowing how good your love is, okay? Knowing how good that love is. And be like, look, I know what I'm bringing. I'm gonna chill. It's a Sunday. Let me not get raunchy with it. We have the Seven of Pentacles coming out here. Yeah. It's counting the chips. It's counting. Like, okay. Not saying like, what have you done for me lately? But kind of. kind of, you know, because I feel like these connections that are coming through, the connections that's being highlighted here, you've seen enough. You've seen enough where you're like, you know, if they are willing to bring things to the table, or if they're capable to bring things to the table or not. In a relationship, this can be like, okay, do they have the emotional capacity to even love me in the way that I need to be loved? You know, and it's like no longer settling. We about to. Here's the thing too. All right, because the weird thing about these connections, I'm getting a whole download right now. The weird thing about these connections, because these are deep connections, they're not acquaintances, what's being highlighted are the ones that we're actually loyal to. There's already love there, right? But then it comes to this moment of like, love ain't enough. As that one poet 50 Cent said, you find out when you fucking broke, love won't put you on a bus, baby, okay? Listen. So it's that energy there, like, okay, all right, you love me, but can you love me the way I need to be loved? No? All right, well, you know what? It's time. It's time for me to get up out of here. Find someone who can love me the way I need to be loved. You know, because at this point, in some of these connections, love is just a word. You know, it's just a word. They're just saying, oh yeah, I love you. As opposed to backing it up with the actions of actually trying to love you with action, you know. Anyway, so it's really assessing the situation, like what have you done for this connection. There's connections that might be one-sided, where you might have been holding up the connection more than they have. You might realize like, oh, if I don't hit them up, we probably won't talk for another year. Hold up, I'm doing too much here. Let me fall back. You know, is that coming through? So be mindful of those. And don't allow for loyalty. Don't be loyal to a fault. All right. That's the energy I'm getting. All right, cool. There's a judgment call to be made here. Some of you guys, you might have made excuses for this person. Okay, some of you guys, you might have made excuses for this person because of the loyalty, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, this is just family. This is just what it is, you know? And so you accept more mistreatment because they're family, or you accept more mistreatment because they love you, you know? Love ain't enough, baby. Okay, what else? Nine of Wands, Two of Cups, and the Six of Swords. It's going to become evident that you need to see some of you guys. So back to the excuses. Some of you guys, you were waiting for them to actually give you the love that you were waiting for, that you were giving them. And then it's realizing that they don't want to. Some of them, they simply just don't want to, but some of them, they don't have the capacity to. All right. Either way, if they can't do it, they can't do it. And excuses need to be like, there's no need to keep up these excuses for them and letting them feast on what you got going on while they're just bringing half-ass love, half-ass effort. So yeah, it's letting go of these connections that you've been making excuses for. I feel like these are not situations where you just met them like a month ago and then you're like, well, I don't know, I still got to assess. No, you've already seen enough. You have multiple examples. You've seen enough where you can tell like, oh, this person just can't do it, or they won't do it, you know? Or it's like, this is a conscious decision. Like, they're not trying to bring a feast next time, you know? These are people who have been riding on this connection, riding on the coattails of your effort in this connection. And they have to pull their own weight. Ten of Pentacles coming through with the Ace of Wands. I think because some of these people were not pulling their own weight. They were dragging you down. They were draining your energy. As I mentioned in the beginning, you were pouring out way too much into them and they weren't pouring back into you. So it leads to this draining energy, but I feel like it's this dysfunctional one-sided connection that we got used to, and out of loyalty, we got used to it. But once we realize that and we decide to let it go, because once again, it is a choice here. You don't have to let it go, but you are being led to let it go. So if you decide to do so, you'll feel way lighter because of it. You'll feel way more stable because of it. Imagine two people walking down a block from the grocery store, carrying groceries that both of you guys are going to enjoy. And you're carrying, it's 6 bags, right? And you're carrying 5 of them and they're carrying 1. Imagine meeting someone who is like, oh, let me carry 3 bags and you carry 3 bags. And then you'll easily feel the difference in those connections that are equally yoked. That's the energy that's coming through there. It's going to be a lesson about that. About just being okay with being the martyr in the connection. Oh my gosh. Where it's like, I understand I'm carrying all 5 bags. I'm carrying 5 bags and you're carrying 1. And it's okay. I'm doing this because I'm a good person. I'm doing this because of love. I'm doing this because I know your hand gets cramped up, so you can't really carry all the bags, And some people have been taking advantage of that. So this moment of truth is like, hey, you know what? I'm carrying all 5 bags and this is actually hurting my hands now. Can you carry your weight? Can you carry 3 or not? Then you're going to realize that either they, A, don't want to, or 2, literally they don't have the capacity to because of their pain, right? All right, I'm gonna do a real quick sidebar. When it comes to, love connections, when someone loves you, but they don't have the capacity to love you the way you need to be loved, it can be because that they have their own issues that they have not sorted through. So whatever little container of love that they know how to express, it's like they can't see outside of that. They think, yeah, I am giving you love. I'm giving you flowers. I'm giving you candy. Isn't that love? Right? And if you want something outside of that, like, no, love is having a connection, having open communication, having intimacy. And if they're not used to those other things, those deeper levels of love, and all they know is superficial, then that's where those are connections where they just literally don't have the capacity to stretch and grow out of that container of love that they're used to. Some of them, it is just an issue of them being ignorant of what they need to bring to the table. Some of them are thinking bringing McDonald's to the table is good. That's enough. They're not even understanding how you bring in a feast. They don't know how to bring a feast to the table. Some of them are like that, but that's not your fucking problem. That's not your problem. That's a lesson for them to learn. They're going to have to learn how to love in a healthier way. You don't have to be their teacher as to how to love in a healthy way, okay? We all have the capacity to teach ourselves by beginning on this healing journey, all right? All right, cool. Anyway, all right, moving on. What's next? You have a star card coming out in reverse. What's up? What's going on with that? Okay, so that's talking about the healing. So there's a conversation that needs to be had where it's like, hey, I realize that I'm bringing so much to the table and you're not. What are we going to do about this? These are my needs. This is my love language. Can you try and speak my love language? Because all this time I've been trying to speak yours. All this time I've been trying to figure out how to make you happy, but I'm realizing you don't care to even try. So what we going to do about that? What we going to do about that? Oh God, so many cards. Hold on. All right. And in doing so, in creating these demands, some of you guys will receive resistance because of it, because they're like, they've been used to getting away with bringing McDonald's to dinner for so long. So now that they're being called out, some people are not going to be okay with this. Some of them are going to be like, oh, what, my McDonald's isn't good enough now? And you're going to have to stand your ground like, no, motherfucker, no, it's not. No. You see me out here with the steak and the mashed potatoes and the corn, you know what I'm saying, the candy yams and the mac and cheese. You see what I'm bringing. You feel me? And you bringing Happy Meals? No, it's not enough. And I'm okay with saying that, you know? That's the energy. Be okay with saying that. Because it is going to lead to some resistance, you know? Especially if they were consciously doing it. If they were consciously doing it, I feel like it's like the cat's out the bag, and they're like, "Oh, you done caught me. You caught on to my game," you know. So it depends on a person, you know. Some of them, I would hope that some of them would hold themselves accountable with that and be like, "All right, my bad." But if anybody's trying not to put an effort consciously into a connection, I can't see these people getting called out and just changing their ways, to be honest. The only ones that I can see changing their ways are the people who are not conscious of the fact that they don't have the capacity to love more than they have been. Anyway, all right, moving on. It's gonna be different. This is what I'm saying. I'm getting caught in the weeds of that. But yeah, it's gonna be different for everybody, how they respond to that. So just be mindful of that. Also, don't allow yourself to be breadcrumbs. There's so much coming through. Oh my God. Because there's so many different reactions. Imagine if you're in a relationship and someone tells you like, hey, yo, I know you like giving me head, you feel me? But your head ain't good enough. Imagine that, right? How would you respond to that, right? Now, there's some people who are giving it their all and it's just not good enough because of skill and technique. It's lacking, right? There's some people who don't want to do it, don't want to give their all. So they're just being lackluster in their delivery, in their execution of the head, right? So just imagine that. That's the energy that's coming through there. And then on the flip side, this other person is giving head. I don't know why I'm going into this raunchy ass example. I'm sorry. This is Sunday too. But whatever. So the person who's calling the other person out is giving head and giving their all to it, you know, and doing a great job, right? And they're like, look, I'm doing this all day, every day. I'm going to need you to match energy. Do we need to go to a class? Do we need to go to couples therapy? What do we need to do where I can be nourished and I can get my rocks off the way you getting your rocks off, okay? It's that, all right? All right, what else? Oh. See, I be trying to give, see, that's the problem. Sorry. That's the problem. I was trying to give this person the benefit of the doubt. But that's been the problem in this connection. We've been giving these people the benefit of the doubt. 5 of Swords coming through. It was on purpose. That's what's going to come out here. These connections where you realize they were just taking, and they realized that they weren't equally yoked. They realized the effort and the execution of their head, for example, was not matching the effort and execution of yours. All right. They knew the effort wasn't matched, but because you kept putting in effort, they were like, well, I don't, and they're not calling me out. Well, I'm gonna just keep bringing this bullshit effort to the table. I'm gonna keep breadcrumbing. Oh, and that's another thing. So if you have this conversation here where you're like, hey man, we need to switch up the dynamic, don't allow for them to just breadcrumb or bring just do things to appease you is what I'm getting here. It's going so deep. All right, I'm going to just say, I'm just going to talk about the people who are consciously not putting in the right amount of effort in this connection. I'm just going to talk about those people right now. Those people, be mindful of them. These are certain people that you were loyal to. You were over loving. They were taking, they were enjoying the ride. All right. When you call them out, they're not going to be accepting of that. They're not going to hold themselves accountable of that. And what they might do is do little things to show like, see, I am putting in more effort, but it still won't be enough. I feel like they'll start breadcrumbing, but they'll just drop bigger breadcrumbs, right? But they're not going to bring all the effort. So instead of you telling them, oh, I got this whole feast and you're bringing McDonald's, you got to bring something else. They're like, okay, all right, got you. I'm not going to bring McDonald's. I'm going to bring Boston Market. Okay. It's still, you see the mac and cheese, you see the gravy, but it's still cheap. You know, no shade to Boston Market, but it's not a home cooked feast. You know, so be mindful of that, where they might start to change their breadcrumbs, but it's still bringing breadcrumbs. It's just enough to appease you, to make you feel like something is moving in the right direction when it's not. All right. That's the energy that I'm getting here. So be mindful of that. And don't allow for loyalty to make you give so much grace to this person that you are just being completely depleted. Once again, these are connections that you've already seen enough. You've already seen enough. So you know. Look, I'm going to straight up. These connections need to. These are connections that they just need to end. I'm not. It just don't feel like it's worth any more effort, because I feel like these are connections where you've already put in so much effort and they had chance after chance after chance to actually match your effort. If they didn't do it then, if they haven't done it at this point, then they're not going to do it. That's the energy that's coming through, and it's straight up, okay? This is the truth with the Ace of Swords that's coming through. With this Ace of Cups in reverse, it's like, this ain't love. This ain't love. It's not the type of love that I want. But this person is like tipping the scales to make it seem like it is. The Judgment card coming through, yeah. You know what? I mean, I think it's hard to say, because I feel like, okay. Because ultimately it's coming through like, cut this off. Cut your losses. It's been draining you. You're realizing it now. Just move on. I don't feel like it's going to be that simple. I feel like you guys are probably going to try and keep working on it with the Eight of Pentacles, simply because you're loyal to this connection, simply because you're giving them grace and you're like, okay, well, now I'm telling you, I didn't tell you this before. Let's see what you do with this new information now that I'm calling you out. So now you're trying to like give them some time to actually adjust. But this time, they're just going to stall is what I'm getting here. Okay, you're gonna have to make a judgment call. You don't need to see anymore. You don't need to see any more of their lack of effort to know that this isn't gonna work. If this is a person who has been consciously taking from you, them being called out is not going to change their behavior. This is just who they are. They're takers. That's straight up. With the Temperance card coming out in reverse, it does seem like there's this temptation to actually go against ourselves, go against our intuition about this person, because once again, the loyalty and the grace that we'll be providing, the empathy that we'll be providing here is going to allow us to actually keep the door open when we should close it. This person is a taker. Some of us are loyal to energy vampires. I'll go as far as to say that. All right. We're loyal to some selfish people. Mic drop. That's it. I'm going to pull from the Animal Spirit deck, and then we're all set. And not saying people can't change, but it's in their nature. They are selfish, and and it's like, if you realize like, oh, you were just consciously being selfish here, why would you still want to be cool with them? Skunk Spirit, know your worth, baby. Know your motherfucking worth. The fuck? Know your worth. Lion Spirit, be generous to Spirit. Whoever this is, this Queen of Wands energy that's bringing a lot, bringing a feast to the table, bringing all that good to the table. Hey, okay. This person's being way too generous, and it could be this level of empathy where you're like, oh, I get it. I get why you can't do it. But like, no, you deserve more. You deserve more. And I don't even think the situation honestly is worth more of a conversation. You deserve more. That's it. So that's being highlighted this week. Last card. Clear out the clutter. These connections that we are loyal to, these selfish people that we are loyal to, is serving as clutter in our lives. And it's time to let them go. We are going to feel the lightness that happens once they're out of our energy field, because these are people who are just zapping from us, who are clouding our vision, clouding our thoughts. They're not providing any type of nourishment to your life, to your spirit. They're just clutter. They're just taking up space. Let them go. Doesn't matter what the nature of the connection is. Put some distance on that thing. All right. All right. Well, good luck. Let me know what you think. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment. Add me on IG, Tara and Heal. Add me on TikTok and Twitter. Thank you so much. If you want to be an angel donor, check out the Patreon link below. Thank you until we meet again. Please. Peace.